Well, here's my hypothesis. I think that one or two of those tellers never wait on anyone. And I think that there was a little standoff going as they waited, like, come on, Sally, for once, can you please wait on that customer? And I think the drama that was caused by that, because people didn't address it, they were allowing it to continue, was felt by my boys that day. And that's the problem with drama in your business. Your customers, your clients, your patients, the people who are trying to do business with you feel it. It's not benign. This stuff is not about having fun at work. This is about building a great business and doing your important work and making sure that your customers and your clients and your patients feel good when they come and see you. Or how about the doctor's office with the two employees who don't get along, and so they have to schedule them on different shifts? And it's okay if there's not someone there to take care of the patients. We just have to make sure to accommodate, that relationship. So every day they were going to move it from one side of the field, and then the next day they were going to get it up, and they were going to exert all that effort to move it to the other side of the field. Why is that torture? Shout it out. Tedium, no purpose. There's your proof that we have an innate desire to make our lives be part of something bigger than ourselves. It wouldn't be torture if that weren't an innate desire. It would just be something that we're doing. Okay, I'm gonna move a pile of dirt. But we need purpose. What I want to ask you is, how many of your employees are moving piles of dirt every day because you've forgotten to attach the smallest tasks or the larger tasks to your mission? Do they know why they're doing what they're doing? Do they know how important it is? Because the thing is, even the smallest task can be elevated to importance if it's a part of the bigger mission. The next one is very often missed, and it's by when. By when, a specific deadline, drop dead deadline that you're gonna stick to is so important, because that provides the call to action to actually get it done. So many of my leaders that I work with, they say, well, my employees are so busy, I feel bad giving them stuff. I wanna make sure that I'm not putting too much on their plate, or I wanna give them some freedom to figure out how to prioritize it. But the problem is, instead of doing a negotiation and committing to a specific deadline together to achieve the same thing, they're saying when you get around to it, or when you get a chance. And the problem is, when they have actual deadlines, they may never get the chance, or they may never get around to it. They sent me his whole employee file, and I was like, why is he still working there? He would show up late almost every day. He had written them a letter, though, saying it had come to his attention they couldn't hold him accountable for that because they don't have an attendance policy. I thought that was some good creativity. You do have to be ready and available to work. I told them to have an attendance policy, and they didn't, but whatever. I mean, you can work around it. You can't do your job if you're not there. He spent most of his day on Facebook, and they had documented it. And every time they tried to talk to him, the supervisor just said, I can't get him to do what I need him to do, and I'm afraid to talk to him now, because he would start pounding his fist on the table, he would burst out of the room, and then all the desks in the call center were lined up on both sides, and he would slam everybody's stuff off their desks. Yeah, and he was still working there. So I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna help you have a correction conversation with him. So are they able, and are they willing? So that's the first thing. So able is they have the knowledge, skills, and abilities. I've worked with so many clients where they're like, they're the best accountant ever, but man, they don't have any people skills, and they hate it here, and they don't care. So they're not willing. You gotta have both. They can be the best whatever, fill in the blank, but if they're not willing, they don't care, they're probably gonna have to go. That's the reality. If they're not able, you're gonna get specific with this form. So what's the specific issue? And what needs to happen to get them there? Are they salvageable? Can you get them the training? Do they need to shadow someone? Do they need to take a class? Do they need to go online and do something? Do they need to spend time with your leader? What needs to happen to give them the opportunity to be successful? I came in about this time and was working with this poor office manager who was racked with guilt because she was going to have to terminate this woman, or actually she was just trying to find her another job inside the organization, or maybe even in the clinic. But she just said, I don't know what to do. She won't take the classes, and I feel so bad. And this was years ago, and that experience for me inspired this. It was a simple mindset tweak for her, but it really empowered her. Because the truth is, your employees have free will. You can't make them do. You can make sure they know what they need to do. You can make sure they have the knowledge, skills, and abilities, and the resources, and good processes, and all that stuff. But ultimately, they have free will. So should you feel guilty if you've done all those things and they're still not making the right choices? Please release yourselves of that and make sure that your leaders do too. If you've done all you can do and they're still not making the right choices, you gotta do what you gotta do.